Hi, and welcome to Conversations at the Effie, where we meet interesting people of Kamloops and see what makes them so interesting. We are here in the unceded territory of the Kamloops Wet'suwet'en, right at the Effie Arts Collective in Kamloops. And today, my guest is the lovely Karla Pearce, a visual artist here in Kamloops. You may have recognized her. She's had many shows in CFJC teaching us how to paint. An educator, had your own studio slash school, you could even call it. Maybe just give us a few words here. How would you describe your past in the arts?
Oh boy. Well, I always wanted to be an artist, and so I was very, I guess, lucky that way that I just went all the way through. And went to art college at a very early age and graduated and did some more university things with English. And then after that, I think I kind of wanted to, I felt a calling to teach because I felt that I had so many bad teachers in life that I wanted to do it better. And that was a calling that I just jumped into, art education. For 23 years, I did that, and I loved it. I really feel that teaching is an incredibly rewarding career, regardless if you do it inside or outside the school system. It doesn't matter. You do it at home with your kids, whatever. It's a really, really rewarding thing to do for the community, and that's how we make a difference in the world, is one at a time. So that was I think the main thing that I did with my life that made a difference so far. And now I'm recently retired from teaching, so I'm a full-time artist at this point, and that's good too. That's, change is always good, keeping it fluid.
How important is the school an artist goes to learn?
Well, if you're a self-taught artist, let's say, and you're learning things from your phone and an online community, there's, you can learn how to do things and how to become a successful artist at your own pace and pick out things that interest you. So this is an option that is available now. For young artists, which I think is really valid. When I went to school, there was no internet, so that's dating me a little bit. I was young, but we had to go to the library to look at pictures. So this is a different time period, and I was taught by modernists. These guys grew up and were into really thought-provoking artwork and painted white cubes and these sorts of things. And every piece of art had to have a message behind it and some kind of meaning and intelligence. And then we back that up with an art history degree. And so these days, when I do something, a performance piece or something like that that's reaching out to a larger audience, I draw on those postmodern educators. I pull that information out of my background, and then that's how I move forward in that kind of language. But if you're doing a painting for somebody's house, then that's another language. Or if I'm doing a watercolor for myself, that's another language too.
Now, you've seen many young faces through your teaching of art. Mm-hmm. Is there something that you can see in a student, and maybe is there like an aura around them that you can say, that they are going to be an artist, or they should be an artist?
I really like autistic kids a lot, and anyone on the autism kind of curve seems to be right away gifted, and so I used to really welcome a lot of kids that had Asperger's or any kind of autism really, and boy, they can go, and they have something goes on with that sort of brain type that they are able to visualize imagery really, really well and hold the images in their head. Their visual cognitive abilities I think are like genius level in terms of interpreting things or just pulling out random things and copy them directly from our heads. Most of us have problems doing that, even visualizing the thing and then copying it on a piece of paper. That's hard to do. That's a learned skill. So a lot of kids that are in that range didn't do well with sports and whatnot, and they'd be painfully shy, and they didn't have anything to really boost their confidence. So getting them into art, and then they'd realize, wow, I'm like way better than everybody, and then it makes them feel stronger, and it gives them an identity. And I did that, with a few teenagers that went from kind of zero to hero in a very short time period with their artwork, and that is incredibly satisfying because it's not just a piece of paper, it's not just a canvas, it's an actual identity and personality, an expression of those things for a young mind to grow and grasp.
Well, all artists seem a little bit weird in a sense. So do you think all artists are somewhat on the spectrum then?
No. But people that are, I think, drawn to art find it in a way that you can use it as a tool to calm yourself, use it as a tool to escape from things going on around you. Doing patterns and knitting is very self-soothing, these sorts of things. And of course, the expression of ourselves. We all have the ability to do that. So I got good at art because I put in thousands and thousands of hours doing it, and thousands of paintings and drawings as well, like lots and lots and lots all the time. Don't stop. Every day, all day. It's always there. So you get really, really good at it, and that's why artists seem so talented, but it's just a flat-out work ethic that gets us there. So anyone can be an artist if you are dedicated and compelled to the art form. You'll get there.
With schools losing a lot of, it seems like, arts funding, where music classes are getting cut and art classes are getting cut, where can kids look to for mentorship in arts?
Oh, well, if you're lucky enough in a community to have a private art studio, there's that. And then individuals that are teaching in the schools, sometimes the schools will go through a program, it's called Art Starts, and they will, through that program, they will bring in teachers from all across, and sometimes, traveling shows and things that, can go in the schools. It's a lot to do with funding and where that program is today. I used to work with Art Starts, and I would go into the different schools and not only teach the kids, but teach the teachers how to teach the kids art as well. So the teachers were always involved as well. So that's one thing that I did, but I honestly can't tell you what's happening now because of the pandemic, and it's so hard on the teachers right now. I feel like that they need a lot of support from their community so that they can get stronger, so that then they can help, bring in more exciting programs and things for the kids, and we can have some of those touring shows and educational extras that the teachers, they enjoy that too, right? Because they learn as well. So that's what we need to happen again. If it's stopped, which I think it probably has, I think that we need to get that ball rolling again and have more people just involved in arts. And also at home, if you have a kid that is really good, at art and what they do, just encourage them, because most kids will just spend a lot of time doing that, and tell them they're doing a great job. Don't be critical. Don't be critical. Just say it's great. Say, I don't like you drawing hearts with knives going through it. No. Don't say that. Say, oh, that's a great heart, and what a cool knife. Like, it's good. So remaining positive to the kids, no matter what they're drawing, and that will really go further in encouraging a creative expression.
Why do you think artists connect so well with the community?
Well, I think we always have. If we go back, to France, and it's cave days, and you're an artist, but you're also the shaman. and you're in there doing your cave paintings, and you're recording what you want to see and how the hunt's going to go or how it did go or whatever. And these are amazing paintings, and that shamanic kind of energy is still sort of there a little bit. I think that people kind of see that sometimes, whether it's deserved or not, because the artwork has a voice. Sometimes when you actually, you can really, really love an artist a whole bunch, and then, what happens if you meet that person and you don't like them, but you really love their art? It's like really weird. So, I don't know. Art can have a different voice sometimes, or interpreted differently than the artists themselves. It's kind of an interesting thing. It's like that deep place out of them, comes the artwork.
What do you want your art to do for you?
For me?
Yes.
Well, what it does for me is all the way through my life, it has been almost like a communicator. I know it's kind of strange, but it's almost like another entity that speaks back to me while I'm doing it. And so I will do the art, and the art is beautiful. It's an incredible show. Watching watercolors flow and move on a piece of paper, and you're able to move those things around, and then eventually it makes this incredible landscape or scene or light or darkness or whatever it is, and the process comes out of me, and I'm not always in control. I just kind of guide it. And it's a very meditative process, and doctors have told me that it uses all parts of my brain, and it actually healed my brain partially from trauma as well. So that's an interesting thing, is how artwork in the brain is super healthy, and you fire at all these different places all at the same time. And the act of just kind of letting go and let that creative flow happen also connects you to almost like a broader kind of sensation of the energy that's going on around us at all times. I know that's a little out there, but I really do believe that when we are in that creative fugue, in that time period, and you're flowing in and everything is working well, that we're actually almost connecting outside of ourselves and in ourselves at the same time, and that's how the art flows through. That's what I love. That's what I'm hooked on, is that process. The thing, not so important, but yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful process for sure.
There's a trope about the starving artist, that you have to be a starving artist to succeed. Is that true?
Well, I always worked as an artist, and I chose teaching as a profession, and that paid pretty good. Working for yourself, it hovers around 120 an hour. So you're an art teacher, and sometimes you can take that into the schools if you want to, which I did. And sometimes you can set up your own school and teach privately, which I also did. So that's, you can look forward to about that kind of a salary, but there's a lot of prep time. So there's time before and there's cleanup time after. And, that was how I lived, and selling paintings, it's a hard game to do it that way. I supplement selling my paintings with selling jewelry, and I have some books that I've written and illustrated, and and tarot card readings, and so most artists learn to do many things. Some have part-time jobs doing other things. I waitressed for 10 years. That was awful. I hated waitressing. Everybody knew it too. They were like, "Who's that scowly waitress?" So I'm really good at just doing art. But yeah, teaching was great for me. I didn't starve teaching. Yeah.
Does true art need, though, a statement behind it? Does it need to say something?
Well, there's different ways to express yourself. So I don't believe that there's any true art form. There's all art forms have a way of communicating. So if I like cups, myself right now, and a really beautiful handmade cup is such a gift because I use it all the time, and I drink out of it, and I feel very connected to the artist. Piece of clothing that's handmade, a hat, gloves, those are real connections that you're having with a creator as you're wearing them, or a painting that you wake up to that you look at when you're happy or sad. All these things, you know, and so any art form is a way that one person can take what's inside of them and create something out of nothing to another human being, which will then grab onto that and have that same experience, to feel something. Not all people connect to each other all the time, but when we do, it's magical.
Do you think there's value in disposable art? I know you're very popular at face painting.
Oh, yeah.
And it's something that's, you know, it's there for an instant in time and then it's gone. And do you think there's something very special about art that doesn't last? Or do you think that art, you know, it has to be, I don't know, something etched in stone that's going to be there for years?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. For me, the art exists in the process of making it. Okay, that's where the art exists for me while I'm doing it. After I'm done, it's over. It's a product. It has no more connection to me. I'm quite divorced from my paintings as soon as I finish them. And so that's why I can do things to them that other people wouldn't normally do to their paintings, because I don't have the same connection. I enjoy it afterwards like a spectator. But the process itself is what's important. So if I'm painting, you know, kids' faces at the farmer's market, oh my God, it's so much fun. I love it, I love it, I love it. And I get to see the kids and they smile and I smile and I turn them into tigers or superheroes or whatever they want to be for the day. And that is magical. That's awesome. Doing a painting that's going to last a long time, that's awesome too. It's all good.
You said that the process of making the art is really why you make the art. So when you look at that painting, do you still feel those emotions that creating it generated? Are you able to look at something that you created and remember how you were feeling?
Yeah, there's some that I keep, but no, I'm going to say that I'm quite separate from them, and maybe that's, you know, the benefit of the degrees in art and the education and all that behind me. I really do not have an attachment to them. Maybe I have attachment issues, I don't know, but I mean, it's like once they are created, when I was younger I did, you know, I thought they were very valuable and I hoarded everything. But now, not so much. Maybe it's because I've made so much art that it just kind of flows out of me, and some people buy it and sometimes I pack it away. But you know, when I look at paintings now, it's usually from a critical point of view. I know that's boring, but I'll look at my self-portrait and go, well, I think that, you know, I could have made that nose a little better. Like, I'll just be like hypercritical of the pieces, technically, or sometimes I'll go, oh, I like the way I did the light on that one. That worked out. But that's about it. Yeah, I think that I make art for it to, because I need to, but then afterwards, I think that the artwork has to go out, one way or the other. So if it goes out digitally and I do a painting and, you know, it gets 500 likes, great, that's awesome, job well done. If somebody buys it, great, money in my pocket, you know, but either way, it's a positive thing for me to have the ability to put it out there into the world and for people to feel it and respond.
The last thing that I've seen you've been doing is you were burning your own art to raise awareness on poverty. What are your experiences with poverty?
Well, since I retired from teaching, I have been working as a visual artist full-time, and one of the things that's happened is that the cost of living has gone up quite a bit. I'd say it's doubled, and the disability payments, social service payments, and old age security payments have not gone up, and so we are seeing all these evictions everywhere, and these are just not, you know, random things you hear on the news. These are my good friends and neighbors and young families, people that have property have been kicking them out, and then they don't have the resources to go anywhere else. It's very, very hard right now. And I burned my paintings because it's a way to get people to look at me and say, look, over here, guys, look, right here, look at me. And then, put the message out there. So that's why I did it, because I just felt that it was something that needed to be addressed, and it was something that I could do easily to make a spectacle. I don't mind doing that, and I didn't mind burning those paintings. It was okay. I felt that they went off as a good sacrifice, and hopefully that a few people saw it, which I think that they did. So I was happy with the outcome. And sometimes, like what I was saying earlier, is that those paintings weren't. They were too big to fit in somebody's bedroom. They were too big for somebody's office space. These paintings needed to go across Canada and across the news sources, so that people can see, yeah, wow, look at this, why, and then read what it's about, and that's why I did it. And, hopefully more people will figure out ways to be vocal about things that are important to them.
What does it do to your psyche knowing that if your art was to be valuable, you'd most likely have to be deceased, that you would never be able to enjoy fame as an artist?
I think I'm doing okay. I think I have experienced fame to some extent within my own community, and outside of that, it doesn't matter, right? So I feel like that when I lived in the Kootenays, enough people knew what I was doing out there, and when I moved here, I've grown really attached to the community here as well, and I think enough people kind of know who I am, and I love that. I love that feeling. My cup is full. Like I feel good. I don't feel like I haven't, that there's something else out there for me. There isn't. I'm really good right now where I am.
In looking towards your retirement, do you think are you worried that you're going to lose purpose in your art? That you're just now creating?
No. No, I am so not worried about that. I have lots of purpose in life, and I'm slowing down now because I am disabled, and my time here, I don't know how much, I have a shorter lifespan than some people, and so I'm just really trying to enjoy everything that I do. And when you've got, okay, that much time, then you can make some, the life choices that I make now are really important. So, do I really need to do that? Or maybe I can just chill and do this, and try not to be so stressed, and smell the, roses, and just, really take time to enjoy everything that's going on and live in the present. I find is the best thing in the world, and nature.
If you could leave behind one thing, what would you want to leave behind?
I've already left it. It's all the kids I've taught, right? So that's it. And I've got kids of my own, and they'll have kids too. And so I'm good. I feel good about the career that I've had in my life, and I'm looking forward to what is coming. It's kind of like, I don't know, like when you sell a house, right? Like you're always working on the house, right? There's always stuff to do, but you got to sell it. Okay, well, you just sell it as is, and you make the money on the house. So that's kind of how I feel. It's like everything is good. Everything is going really good at any given point in time. It's all good, If I had to go tomorrow, I would still be very content with what I've accomplished in my life today.
Well, I think we can leave it at that.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Karla Pearce.
Thank you.
And thank you for tuning in to Conversations here at the Effie, and we hope to see you again next time.